recording! Hello, hello, everybody! Hopefully my audio is doing fine and all my other checks have gone through.
That would be good.
Oh, thank you, Cold Silver! Thank you very much for the subscribe.
This is not switching over properly. There we go.
So, tonight's
I've
schedule...
been missing the chat for the last however many minutes.
Yeah, it has been over a year, Cold. That is awesome. Tonight's schedule, we're going to be doing all the ARR MNK Quests back to back, because there's some really neat story in here. Bad news is my mouth is hurting because of a lot of dental stuff that happened on Friday. Good news is that this quest, all of the NPCs are male, so Ladonia gets to voice them. Yay. You're welcome.
Yes, I hope you like listening to me because you're going to be doing that a lot.
Yeah. For those in the know, the reason why yesterday's stream was canceled is Friday I ended up having to go see a dental specialist over this stupid molar that refuses to heal. And he took one look at it and said, "You need another root canal." And I'm like, that would be number 3. And he's like, "Yep. Okay, when do we want to schedule it?" "Oh, we're doing it now!" So, yeah.
No time like the present.
He was definitely a specialist and knew what he was doing because he was in and out, but man, I feel like a freight train just went through my jaw. Hopefully this will be the last one, knock on wood.
Be good, because after that it gets really, really bad.
Yeah, if this doesn't work and it doesn't fully heal in 3 weeks, we're looking at an extraction.
Of whatever is left.
Yeah.
At this point, it's kind of surprising there's anything there at all, including the rest of your jaw.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that they do that so that it doesn't get down into the jaw, because if it gets into the jaw, then, oh lordy.
Oh, am I doing this? Probably not in 30 seconds. I
you
don't
having
think I'm doing
problems?
either direction in 30 seconds.
Oh dear. Ladonia is currently doing a jump puzzle, so I'm kind of chilling and waiting on her to finish before we start.
Yeah. And yeah, there's been lots of this.
Yay for jump puzzles?
I've been stuck on one part for basically 4.5 minutes.
So yesterday, what's really been sad is that the pain has actually been more intense after this particular procedure than what made me go into the procedure in the first place.
Okay, well, I'm all done.
Okay, we ready to do this?
I don't know, are you?
As long as I don't have to do much
Hiya.
of the talking? Yeah. Oh, now we get double screen. So why don't I flip to...
Yeah, I've switched over so I can see what you're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yesterday and today have been fun. At least, thankfully, I'm completely and utterly doped up on ibuprofen, so we're good to go. Hello, Gungarua. You have a quest for me.
Brother from another mother. Gagaruna has work for a willing pugilist. Something.
Pugilist!
Thank you, Larry Zor.
You're welcome.
Tell me, do you know of Professor Eric? He is a scholar of Eorzean military history whose genius is second to none, and he is among our most valued clients. Some find him to be verbose, tedious, haughty. But never mind all that. The man spends more gil on a moon's research than most people see in a lifetime, hence our amicable relations. His latest work has him visiting the sites of ancient battlefields. He insists on surveying lands plagued by savage beasts. According to him, the beasts keep man away, and less intrusion by man means greater preservation. Whatever his reasons, should the professor meet an untimely fate, we will be unable to collect the gil he has borrowed, much less the interest. Oh, and it would be a terrible loss for the academic community, and so on and so forth. Yes, yes.
You're all heart.
Yep. Clenched fist holds no gil.
Drops no gil.
Drops no gil.
Yes.
The point is that a man must needs be girded. To that end, I sent a monk of Alamigo to see to his safety, but it turns out the bloody oaf has no work ethic about him, just like an Alamigan. The professor cannot focus on his work if he feels endangered, and so has demanded we assign him a new bodyguard. That's why I'm so glad to see you, Rena. The professor is awaiting his new escort as we speak, and I'd like for it to be you. You are yet a mere pugilist. Perhaps this task would provide some insight into what it is the monkhood does around here. Make for the Goldsmiths Guild, and there seek out our good Professor Eric. The professor claims he will pay his dad and the fees for his protection once his research is complete. See to it that our investment doesn't end up under the paw or in the maw of some nasty beast.
I can do this thing.
Yeah, the first mistake of many people. He owes money to a Lalafell.
To an old Don Lalafell.
Same thing.
There's Lalafells in Limsa.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want to borrow money from them either.
No, you don't borrow money from them. They just take it. They take everything. On account of being pirates! Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And now, to work my way all the way up to the Alchemist's Guild. Because that's where he likes to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
I bet him and Servant gets along just dandy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Goldsmith's Guild. Thank you, Tay.
Yeah, you were headed for the Alchemy Guild.
Yeah. Well, I did tell you I was having some dental problems, right? There he is. Hello, Professor Eric. I was told you need a new bodyguard. Note, that's bodyguard, not escort. Thank you very much.
Ah, my punch-prone maid servant, I presume. You may and shall call me Eric. You are to guard my life, even at the cost of your own, and aid in my revolutionary research whenever and however asked. Know that my primary endeavor is to reconstruct the military histories of old through the ethereal analysis of ancient battlegrounds. I assume the words conjure in your mind dang it. I assume the words conjure in your mind. I'll get this right someday.
Deep breath. You can do it.
Meow. I assume the words conjure in your simple mind romantic images of vast plains and open valleys, with armies charging blindly at one another. False. I seek to know where the armies of old were deployed, where they made camp and marched. No doubt you think such lands to be those sung of in the Song of Bards. False. They are here, beneath our very feet, and to find them and determine precisely how events unfolded upon them is my purpose. No doubt you jumped at the chance to aid in my work. Tell me, which of my treatises have you read? None.
Nope.
Gods, I knew you adventurers had a reputation for being unlettered. I didn't know you actually made efforts to remain so. It matters not. I require only that you work with diligence, unlike that Wittergelt buffoon. The man proved to be sloth itself. Alas, he is a monk of Alamigo. I suppose the fool was too busy opening his chakra or whatever it is those barbarians do all day. I admit he seemed keenly interested in my research, but now he's gone off to 12 knows where and has yet to return. Do you understand the sheer magnitude of this inconvenience?
No.
Yeah, actually, I do. Lodonia might not, but Raylia understands the magnitude of this inconvenience entirely. He's had to hang out in the Goldsmiths Guild listening to Gigi all day.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry. That would fray anyone's nerves. Gigi is special.
Yeah. Good, good. You show that much promise at least. But let us speak more of my work. My first destination is the Silde excavation site in central Thanalan. I believe events of great import to the history of Silde transpired there. Surely if you have ears, you have heard of Silde, and boy do you have ears.
Yes, I do have ears. Thank you very much for noticing.
Or are you deaf as well as dull? Very well. I see you require some instruction. It would be remiss of me as an academic to allow you to wallow in such ignorance. Silde was plunged into chaos in the wake of King Lalo Oefu's demise, or the King of Springs as he was known. Despite the success of economic reforms, babble, fomented unrest among the people, babble, resulting in violent outbreaks throughout the kingdom. This is the condensed version, everyone. Silde was Sultan at the time, distant descendant, attack was ordered, And so, yes, irony of ironies, and for that horse, Wait, horse? And Silde? Really?
I think he means horsebird.
Yeah. Fascinating, is it not? It is enough to convince one things could not have happened any other way, no? False. One among my colleagues disagreed with this interpretation of events. He claimed to have evidence suggesting otherwise, but all trace of it disappeared before it was published. Mine own research shall unearth any such evidence should it truly exist. I shall know the truth. Granted, you are not the brightest coal in the brazier, but surely such a prospect entices even you. And so, we make for the Silde excavation site in central Thanalan. Travel the way before me to see that it is safe, and once there, set up this Aetheronometer. And should you ever care to know more of the Eorzean military history, do come and see me. It is a personal crusade of mine to guide the dullards of this realm towards some modicum of enlightenment.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Enlighten me.
An honest inquiry. That sad, wonderful moment when ignorant curiosity overcomes pride. Right then, let us begin.
Everyone, take notes. There will be a quiz in about 1 month.
I need hardly mention that Sildan civilization is now centuries dead. Silde was plunged into chaos in the wake of King Laloefu's demise, or the King of Springs as he was known. Despite the success of his economic reforms, the tax increases he imposed did not sit well with his subjects. This, coupled with a prolonged sequence of untimely droughts, fomented unrest among the people and in time spurred violent unrest throughout the kingdom. Silde was not alone in its want for water. Ul'dah, too, felt the effects of the droughts. The Sultan at the time, Sasagan ul Sisagan, But perhaps you recognize the old name. The current Sultana, Nanamo el Namo, represents the second old dynasty. She is Sasagan's distant descendant. Now, where was I? Yes. Right, so. Sasagan ordered an attack on Silde to claim the water resources discovered as a result of Lalawefu's flood control acts. But the royalty and nobility of Silde would not remain idle. They mobilized their nation in the face of this crisis, and the people fought with great tenacity against the Uldan threat. The full strength of both nations met in battle, and the end result was an arduous, protracted conflict. Though arguably more desirable than surrender, the living Sultan elite took little pleasure in having succeeded in uniting the theretofore querulous citizenry to fight. For despite all they accomplished, every day spent waging war dragged the nation's financial affairs, which you will recall had only just been brought under control, back into the mire. To bring an end to the long military deadlock, Silde devised and set about implementing a perverse yet ambitious strategy. It sought to zombify the deceased among its army that they might fight again. At first, it appeared to have worked, yet at the height of hostilities, the Sildans lost control over their necrotic creations. The undead turned on their masters, and before long the zombification had spread to a majority of the population. Ever knowing an opportunity when they saw one, the Uldans used this to justify their war, now proclaiming a crusade to send these zombies to fall. After seeing to the extermination of all zombies outside the city, they then sealed the gates of Silde, entrapping both the living and dead within. And that, in brief, is a history of the fall of Silde. I only pray that your feeble mind is able to retain it.
Yes, actually, I think I got that one. Zombies bad.
Professor Boring.
Yes, he is Professor Boring. But he is also one of the largest lore dumps in the game, if you know where to look.
Yeah.
What was that, dear? Yeah, he is a dump. Mm-hmm.
He dumps many things.
And off to Silde.
Which is not that far away.
Yeah, well, originally these were twin cities that were right next to each other, so...
Yeah. Which explains why they had the same water problems.
Well, originally it was one city that was split into two.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Been too long.
Ride, my faithful fat cat steed. Ride!
Speaking of undead.
Yeah, I think I've read off the thing for the fat
Yeah,
cat
I think
before.
just a couple of weeks ago.
It's special. It's hilarious, but it's special. The other night, Theron was in Novice Network, and someone was like, I'm trying to decide whether I want to buy the fat cat, and everyone in the Novice Network is like, do it, do it, do it, and then someone pops up, but don't read the flavor text! Uh-oh. What's this about the... Don't read the flavor text!
And, yeah, he read it. He regretted it.
Yeah. And here's my destination and the ruins of the city of Silde.
Yeah.
And one aetherometer.
Aetherometer. An odd contraption used for measuring surrounding aether levels. Level 44 duty. Well done. Now, we need only wait for the aetherometer to gauge the... There are fiends about, Drenna. They are often drawn to the lingering sense of blood and death. Well, this is what you're here for. Have at it. And he is most entirely correct on that one. This is exactly why you're here, is to keep things like this away.
Wings of Fury! Boy, there's a lot of them.
Yep. And here's a bigger one for you. Ah, here comes a true foe. That was fascinating. This data will prove invaluable. And now some brigands. At least he's not the absent-minded miner escort from WoW.
Kind of bummed they took that out.
Yeah. That actually was one of the better escort quests.
Oh, I think the monk just showed up.
What was your first clue?
Sparky.
Udrigelt, so good of you to drag yourself all this way, you purblind sluggard. Ah, and Drenna, you have far exceeded what admittedly low expectations I had of you.
Gee, thanks.
I suppose introductions are in order. Far be it from me to deny the realms unread the comfort of one another's company. Wittergelt, Renna, Wittergelt, the monk I spoke of sent to me by Gagaruna. I tried to make a pupil of Wittergelt as well, but he has little mind for history. His primitive beliefs in the witchcraft of chakra and spiritual energies have a tenacious hold on him. Oh, truly. This is the area where there have been sightings of walking dead. I've heard the tales. Some claim they've seen an apparition wearing the garb of an ancient commander. Careful, there are still dangers about. His work is dear to him. That is good. He thirsts for knowledge, for truth. Discovery awakens him. You too have a woven friend. Can you not feel it? Do not be frightened. Here was a battle long ago. Much energy remains. It has found you. It flows through you. Your chakra has been opened. This was the light that shone from you. It is as Eric said. Wittergelt is my name. I am a brother of the monkhood. My order is the Fist of Ralgar. Our way is to train the body and the mind. The fist is our weapon. With it, we put down our enemies. The energy within us moves the fist. That chakra is the seat of that energy. It is a sacred place. It can be opened, and the life force within controlled. Chakra exists in all that lives, in all beings, yet not all beings can open them. Much training is needed, and great discipline. With these, the life force be commanded. There are those who require no training. Their inner strength is such that it forces the chakra open. I've heard of this happening, but never have I seen it until now. I see in you great conviction. You mean to walk the monk's path, and so I will give you this, a soul crystal, a mark of my order. None but a monk may hold it, and only then with the order's leave. But your chakra is awakened, that is clear, and so you are worthy. Many bore that crystal before you. It remembers them, their breath and their movement. They will one day be yours, but your chakra must open further. Only then can the crystal's memories enter you. This is no more than the beginning. Now you must train. Learn to control the life force within you. With time, you will master it. We stand on an ancient battleground. A great war was waged here. The spirit of the fight lingers. The Aether reaches for the chakra. It aids in their opening. That is why we monks seek such lands. Eric seeks these lands for reasons of his own. The fates favor you in this. Follow him. Your chakra will grow ever more. Professor Eric is leaving. Fear not. I will see to his safety. Please, sister, the Aetherometer. Gather it and bring it to the Goldsmith's Guild.
So, how bad is it gonna wreck my hotbar?
Oh, yeah. Completely. It always wrecks it completely.
Okay, let's get this over with.
Yep, one bar rearrangement coming up.
Oh, wait. He hasn't actually given me the crystal yet, the little bugger.
Yeah, well,
I have
okay.
to go back to...
Yeah. Quest reward. And look out for the Spriggans.
Oh, I am so scared of a level 7 grave robbing Spriggan. And a sylphid cloud. Ooh, the sheer horror and terror. Yeah. And back to the Goldsmith Guild.
And yeah, Foxfire, it would be the fatter cat.
Yeah, the fat cat is a minion, the fatter cat is the mount. But everyone just calls it the fat cat, because it is.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's adorable, and it loafs when it stops.
Yes. Oh boy, does it ever.
At one point someone ran by me and was like, wait, what's that? Is that like some piece of animated mochi?
Maybe.
You're not wrong. Actually, do I have the fat cat minion? I don't think I do. That one's kind of rare. Got the imp minion.
Yep.
But not the fat cat. That is okay. Okay, Professor Eric. Here's your stinking Aetherometer back.
Moment. Yeah, okay. Nope, wrong window. Well. Now, look who has decided to grace us with her presence. Did you enjoy this saunter back? I was just about to begin my analysis, so if you've matter you wish to speak on, I'd ask that you save it for...
Your aetherometer?
which might help in your analysis.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same description as before. You've brought the aetherometer. Excellent. I had a feeling you might not be entirely useless. Now, let us see what discoveries await. Wittergilt passed along a soul crystal to you. Moved to join the monkhood by the bone-headed Claude, were you? Well, I suppose it is for the best that my pupils get along.
Oh, I'm a pupil now.
But I do believe I will see to it you are sent to separate locations for the next round of measurements. And I dare say the land to which I intend to send you is fraught with dangers. You'd best tread the monk's path quickly if you mean to defend yourself. And me, besides.
Yep,
there's your soul crystal. Soul of the monk. Monk unlocked.
Okay, now for the pain. My bars! My beautiful bars!
Yep.
Okay, first you go.
All the things they default onto it, for one thing, like the return and the teleport and the play guide and the sprint.
You are an AoE, I'll put you there for the moment. Oh. And I need to... Sorry guys, this will take a minute.
You just reset your bar and now you can't do a thing with it.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's go. I think it goes here, and then there, and then you go up here. You go here, and you go here. Oh, true north. You go there. Sorry, go like that. I think. Close enough for government work.
So does it look anything like Theron's version?
It should if I did it right.
Close enough for government work.
Yeah. Okay, Eric. I feel like some fisticuffs. What do you got for me?
Insulted intelligence. Professor Eric seeks to measure the aether of more ancient battlefields. Ah, just the people I was hoping to see. I was a hair's breadth from setting out on my own. Look at you. Yes, I dare say you appear to have been growing in brawn at the expense of brain. Great, well, let us measure some aether, shall we? And by we, I mean you. Oh, and the monk simpleton, of course. Though contrary to his nature, he has already set out for the destination I assigned him. Thinking perhaps that you are far too stupid to take, much less understand, etheric readings? It is true, you are stupid, but the Aetherometer shall do all the work for you and transmit the data back to me. He's a joy to work with.
At least his gold is good.
Let's hope so. Remember, he owes money, so he hasn't been actually paying the gold much. As tools more suited to action, the monk simpleton and yourself need only carry the device on your person and set about beating on things as you always do. You shall capture the data as you trudge about hither and yon. Aether is not only the source of all magics, but also the fount of all life. Yet, despite its ubiquity, it remains imperceptible. When a living being dies, the Aether comprising its life is released. When this discharge takes place, a portion of that Aether remains lingering in the physical world. No doubt you have ethereal crystallizations, physical manifestations, apparitions of the deceased, luminescent glow, known as the Ethereal Threshold. In short, the more violent and dramatic the loss of life, the greater the amount of Aether left behind, either in its imperceptible form or in crystallizations. And where are the most lives lost in this manner? Cemeteries? No, false, you idiot. Battlefields. Do you not see, with etheric readings of those locations, we can discern the scale and more of the battles that took place there? As for those fool beliefs the monkhood keeps, chakra and spiritual energies and whatnot, if I were to allow that they truly exist, I would be inclined to say they are one and the same as Aether itself. The Aether churning around these ancient battle sites comes to naturally settle in the surrounding life, both plant and animal, though more so in the latter. It accumulates within them. Felling these beasts then releases that Aether, causing a surge that resonates with the Aether within you, causing it to expand, the so-called opening of the chakra. By this, the very power of life itself within you grows. A watered-down explanation, but adequate for one of your mental progress, I believe. Mine own wife never had the patience for such things either, nor my passion. She cursed me in my work, took our children, and returned to Alamigo. But now is not the time for that tale. The area I am placing in your charge is Bloodshore in eastern Laodicea. Place this Aetherometer in an appropriate location, and after a spell, retrieve it and bring it to me. I obtain the data I require, and you and the monk simpleton are afforded the chance to indulge your, how shall I put it, charming little backward fantasies. All are happy. Ideally, I would prefer you have a knowledgeable understanding of Bloodshore's history, but I fear we lack the time for me to educate you. I need hardly tell you that my research takes precedence over your schooling.
Gee, you're all heart.
Yep. So, you have anything new for you?
We're good. The study of Aether and Bloodshore. Oh god, these are huge.
Yep, this is him. I shall tell you again of the study of Aether. As I laboriously explained, Aether is not only the source of all magics, but also the fount of all life. Yet, despite its ubiquity, it remains imperceptible to the senses of man. When a living thing dies, the Aether comprising its life is released. It has been learned that when this discharge takes place, a portion of that Aether remains, lingering in the physical world. No doubt you have come across ethereal crystallizations in the course of your travels. All scholars now agree that these are the physical manifestations of great concentrations of Aether. I have a theory, however, that they are not the only such manifestations. Allow me to give an example even you can understand. That of ghosts, spirits, disembodied souls, apparitions of the deceased come back to haunt and generally unnerve us. False! These are nothing more than the luminescent glow of Aether in the atmosphere. It is possible, though highly unlikely, that you are asking yourself why a portion of the Aether remains. Right. Well, the amount of Aether that can shift between the physical and ethereal realms in any given instant is limited. I call this the Ethereal Threshold. Any Aether present in excess of that threshold is left behind. The more violent or dramatic the loss of life, the greater the amount of inner Aether released to take the form of crystals or remain imperceptibly in the atmosphere. And you surely recollect the scene I identified as the most apt to produce such violent deaths. In the field of battle, it stands to reason, therefore, that through the ethereal measurement of such sites, I will be able to reconstruct details of the wars waged upon them. And that, Renna, is why this military historian has a deeply vested interest in the subject of Aether. Despite all we do know, however, many mysteries remain. The study of Aether will no doubt continue to yield fascinating and awe-inspiring discoveries for years to come. Of that, I am certain.
Eric, you have no clue. Bloodshore.
Very well. Prepare to learn all you ever cared to and more of the land known as Bloodshore. He did warn us. The Sanguine nomenclature derives from a truly horrific battle which took place there some 50 years ago. The two greatest pirate fleets of the day, the League of Lost Bastards and the followers of Richard Mistbeard, met one another at sea just off the coast.
Oh god.
Yes, Mistbeard.
And the League of Lost Bastards. You know who the captain of the League of Lost Bastards is?
No. I don't think it's
Merlweb.
action. Oh, really?
Yes, Emerald Merlweb. She was the leader
Right
of the League of
then.
Lost Bastards. Continue.
To this very day, none can say with certainty who shot first, nor why. Mayhaps there is no good reason at all. All know the two pirate leaders loathed one another, and when dealing with pirates, little more than that is needed to ignite a war. By the by, it just so happens that the head of the League of Lost Bastards, Blufwis, here we go, was father to the current admiral of Lemza Lomenza.
Ah.
Yeah, actually, she's... I'm trying to remember what her last name is. It's derived from Blufwis.
Blufwiswin, which is the female derivative.
Yeah. It is told that the old sea dog wished for his daughter to take command of the fleet upon his death. But that is a tale for another time. Suffice it to say, a shot was fired, and the mightiest pirate armadas in the realm came to fight one of the bloodiest naval battles in Eorzean history. All told, 7 galleys were sunk that day, and dozens of smaller warships. 4 of the 7 galleys went down in mere moments. When the last of the smoke cleared and the cannons fell silent, hundreds lay dead on the ocean's bottom. It is said the foam of the tides was tinged red with blood for days after the battle, and bodies washed ashore for weeks to follow. So, as you can see, geography and history are inextricably linked. Regrettably, the region has recently been purchased by a wealthy Uldan merchant named Gigi Rujo. He has chosen to turn a blind eye to the land's history and has taken to calling it Costa del Sol. And I believe I will stop there concerning Bloodshore and allow your feeble brain to process all it has heard.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, he's so supportive.
Bye-bye! Ah. Yeah. Lots of lore dump.
Mm-hmm. The best in lore dump. Ask for Eric by name.
Mm-hmm. And now it's off to Costa del Sol. So as we're traveling, next week, our current plan is that the new event will be up. It's a return of the FF14, FF15 crossover.
Yeah, the new old event.
Yeah, the new old event. Ooh, that's what's missing. Come here, my lovely fat cat. So next week we'll be doing that, and hopefully by then, knock on wood, we'll have enough MGP to buy ourselves a car.
Mm-hmm.
Because buns need to be styling.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I don't have it set up. One of the things that occurred during the week was I ended up helping a group with a run in the Binding Coils of Bahamut with minimum eye level, no echo, which means we get absolutely, utterly no bonus help whatsoever. Well, some pretty amusing things happened during that, and it
Tragically amusing.
in a very Looney Tunes sort of way, with the sad trombone to follow. And one of the leaders was actually streaming it. They highlighted that, and it got shown as a highlight for another YouTube personality. It was kind of hilarious. It was sad, but hilarious. I'll probably show that next week before Heaven on High.
Right.
But it was full of wonderful fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yay! And here we are at the docks. Yeah, I'd like one ferry ticket to Lumza Lominza.
Tindramoy.
Oi, that joke still gets me even today. It's been what, almost 20 years.
About that, yeah. Maybe a bit more.
Back when adventure games were kind of all the rage. I kind of miss it.
And we do have a copy of like the first two CD that should be installable.
Are you sure? We've kind of gone through a few OSs since then.
As I said, should be.
Quotes around the should.
And all three are available on GOG.
Of course they are.
Now, some things aren't.
Oh, you hear that new version of Myst is coming out for VR?
I've heard of it, yeah.
Apparently it looks really good. Now, I can see that game working really well in VR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, other interesting news as I travel my way to Coastal Dulcel. So the verdict has come down in the Epic versus Apple.
Oh, really?
Yes. Epic has
Did they both lose?
In a weird way, yes.
That could be good.
Epic needs to pay Apple for breach of contract, or not.
Yeah, it was breach of contract.
Apple, now a lot of the headlines have been getting it wrong. I've actually listened to a lawyer just go through the reading and break it down. Apple needs to open up and allow for other payment process systems on their devices. That is not the same as opening up the walled garden for other people to have outside payments.
Yeah.
And it does not mean that they can't still ask for the 30% cut of revenue coming through their device.
Okay.
They just have to allow for optional payment processors.
Now that would make some sense. One thing, if they insist on a certain thing and get into cahoots with them, that is an abusable monopoly practice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cutting that part off at the pass.
Right. But as far as I could tell, the judge effectively wanted to throw the book at both of them.
Uh-huh. Can't imagine. And
they expect this to be appealed by a higher court, so the document was long but very well written.
Oh, good.
Because of course they know someone's going to take it to a court of appeals.
Yep.
Okay, here's my destination.
And the same old aetherometer.
Ooh!
Hey, look. Things to punch. Time for you to do what you do best.
Punch things?
Yep.
I puzzle you! About to say, anyone else? And sure enough, there was.
Yes. But wait, there's more.
Are we done here? Yeah.
Yes. Hopefully that's enough readings for his snootiness.
And back to the guild. Zoom. So yeah, I found the final verdict very interesting. We'll have to see how the appeals goes through. Because they are going to have some. One of the things the case hinged on was the definition of what they were considering monopolistic practices of the walled garden. Basically, Apple was voicing that it was this very, very limited, tight focus thing of effectively iOS gamers. That was the market.
Yeah.
What Epic was trying to get was for all gamers.
Yep.
And the judge is like, no, I'm going to define it here in the middle of the road. Suck it, both of you. Whap!
And if you did a good definition, that could be a very interesting legal precedent.
I believe the definition basically boiled down to gamers using mobile devices. And if that's the case, that is not monopolistic, because that also includes all of Android's devices too.
Yep.
But excludes things like consoles and PCs.
Yep.
So there we go for gaming news. But yeah, that was handed down like Friday, I think.
Sounds about right.
So apparently PlayStation had their big reveal for
Yes, you've talked about this.
Well, not in stream.
No.
And most of it One of the ones I was looking forward to, Forspoken, which is a new Square Enix game done by the team that was once the main tools team for 14. They've spun off and created their own little system, and they created a game called Forspoken that's starting to come out. It looks interesting. I was very interested into it until it was shoved at the beginning of this entire presentation, and the entire presentation felt like it was all kind of the same game in the same game style. Just across the board.
Sony has a history of some of the worst presentations as far as I'm concerned. Now, I have still not forgiven them for their big reveal on the PlayStation 4 several years ago now, which basically the entire presentation across everything came down to the world can be saved with more polygons.
Well, Unreal 5 has delivered on that.
Yeah,
Just not in the way they were predicting. Now, with that said, one of the presentations they had in there made me want to head desk really hard.
Oh dear.
It's a new Rainbow Six game!
Oh, yes, yes.
All your wonderful first-person tactical shooters, showing it how difficult it is to do this stuff in real life, doing an alien extraction zombie flick.
Yeah. But it hasn't been...
Oh my god!
Unfortunately, Rainbow Six game franchise has not been about real combat for quite a while now, at least a decade, very possibly two. I haven't really followed it.
I totally head desked on it. It's like Tom Clancy is spinning in his grave right now. What were they thinking? Oh wait, they were thinking?
The same thing they've been thinking for the last decade plus. Because that's basically where the series has been. It's got the name, but it's no different from all the other modern military fantasy shooters.
It's just... wow. I'm not a big first-person fan. I'm not that big, actually, in Militaria. But sticking Tom Clancy's name on that, which they did do...
Of course.
It's called Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
Yep. Because somewhere they paid for the rights to that name in a contract.
It makes my bunny ears hurt. A lot. Worse than my mouth.
Yeah. Have you brought the aetherometer?
Oh, I guess I did pick it up. Sorry.
Yes, you did. I saw you. You really are being ditzy. It seems the device has suffered some damage. I suppose such things are unavoidable in this line of work. Did you punch it?
Sorry.
I must see to its repairs at once. That is, after all, why I put up here at the Goldsmiths Guild. My aetherometer is no ordinary device. I came up with the elaborate design myself, had the finest engineers at Garland Ironworks draft the schematics, and then commissioned the most talented goldsmiths to fabricate it. Got Bert to do it? Watergelt delivered the results of his outing not long ago. I must insist that you take your leave of me now. There is a wealth of data for me to analyze, and I fear that simply having you nearby will somehow affect the processing power of my brain.
Aww. Do you think it might be the boobs? It might be the boobs.
Oh, not going there. Repairing the aetherometer and determining which locations to next investigate will require some time. Why don't you go and train those muscles of yours, or whatever it is you do in my absence?
Woohoo! Shoulder tackle!
Mm-hmm.
Time for 45. Sorry, 40. Haha.
A slave to the Aether. Professor
Oh, sorry.
Bad Bun.
Durr.
Ah, dear Rena, so good of you to trouble yourself to come. Normally, I might be cross, but my spirits are far too high just now, and it is you that I have to thank. I speak of the data you procured. It is simply marvelous. You have a true gift for grunt work, my friend. I wish I had 100 more assistants just like you. Oops and all.
Apparently.
I have been in this field for a very long time, and I have been alone. Ever since that unfortunate mold tea fungus culture incident spurred my passion for research. I regret nothing, Rena.
Ew.
Yeah.
Keep
Save
that
perhaps
stuff
having
away
to
from
share
me.
so wondrous a world with souls as unlearned as yourself. Still, your performance has not left me completely bereft of joy. It is rewarding to think that my instruction has guided you to such success. There. How is that? Shall we dispense with any further pleasantries? Very good, then. I made yet another career-defining discovery while pondering which battlegrounds to measure next. Eorzea is home to numerous locations where the Aether is in an intensely chaotic state, yet which never played host to any war. My hypothesis is that such flux in the Aether was indicative of a past battle, and all my research was predicated upon this. But turn the theory on its head, Rena, if your mind is able. What if the people of the past chose areas of roiling Aether to hold their battles? I've already sent the simpleton, the monk, to take measurements at the fine sand banks. As you are doubtless unaware, this lies on the border between Alamigo and Gridania, and was the stage of the Autumn War. Have we seen the fine sand banks?
Not in that name, but we do know where it is. The Autumn War
Okay.
we have seen before.
Yes.
Before. Particularly in the Bard's Tale.
Yeah. I ask that you find our monk friend and collect his aetherometer. Manual and tedious, yes, but he has an early make of the device that is unable to transmit data. I gather the numbskull is in Little Alamigo in southern Thanalan by this time. You think I ask much of you? False! I ask more. Your other task is to travel to Snake Molt in the South Shroud, and there take measurements with your own aetherometer. I will continue with my research here in your absence. Mind you, if you care to know aught at all of the Autumn War and the Fine Sand Banks upon which it was fought, I will gladly enlighten you. You need only ask.
I'm gonna regret this, aren't I?
Maybe.
Fine
Okay,
sand
just
banks.
one combined entry for both.
No, I think you only get the other entry if you've already taken Bard. Some of his entries don't show up unless you have other classes and or in other points in the story. The bugger.
Here's a question.
Hmm?
Now of course this is Monk Pugilist, so to become Bard, you had to take a minor in this originally.
Uh-huh.
What did you have to take a minor in to become Monk?
Lancer, I think?
Really? Huh.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, it has. Try finding the info easily these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to know more about this fine sand banks.
The fine sand banks have a rich history indeed. They are found on the west shore of the Velodino River, at the foot of a now extinct volcano overlooking the Roughlit Sound.
And
The
we
area
know
is
where the Valodina River is.
I know the name. I know. I should know where it is. I'd have to go look it up on the maps.
It's in the fringes.
Okay, so it's the main river through the center of that?
Yes.
Okay. And it's on the west shore. Yeah, that's about where I figured fine sand would be. I don't remember Roughlit Sound, though. The area is a sedimentary basin formed by the deposit of fine silts and sands carried by the river. Today, it falls within Gridanian territory. Really? But in days past, it belonged to my own home nation, Alamigo. A century ago, King Manfred came to power in Alamigo and decided to expand the nation's territory in order to promote economic growth. To that end, he ordered the Alamigan army to undertake large-scale campaigns that would eventually lead to the onset of the Autumn War. Naturally, such action was met with vehement opposition from the other nations. Gridania, fearing encroachment along its border with Alamigo, placed the renowned Lancer Venchelon in command of its standing armies, and war began. His opponent was Gilbard, the great general of Alamigo, a fervent believer in the Fist of Ralgar, and a man who enjoyed enormous popularity among the Alamigan people. The two leaders were loved by their troops, and at the outbreak of war, morale on both sides was very high. The armies clashed time and again all along the border, neither general yielding an elm. But in a galling twist of fate for Gridania, Venchelon suddenly took deathly ill. After no victory emerged following the Battle of Fine Sand Banks, Venchelon devised a new strategy. He ordered his forces to retreat to Camp 9 Ivies, fully intending for Gilbard to give chase. And we know where 9 Ivies is.
Mm-hmm.
This would lure the Alamegans to terrain more favorable and familiar to the Gridanians. He died, however, before he was able to see his plan executed. Now, the man who would replace him, Osborne, was extremely ambitious and eager to prove his worth to the Seedseers. Having neither the mind nor patience for Venchelon's defensive war, however, he ordered a frontal assault on the Alamegan position. When Gilbard learned of this plan, if plan it may be called, he secretly deployed troops to the most vital points along the Fine Sand Banks. The Gridanian forces had scarcely entered the area before they began to suffer heavy losses from highly coordinated Alamegan ambushes. In response, Osborne ordered a forced march, permitting his troops no rest for several days as he attempted to surge through the region. Eventually exhausted, the Gridanians came to entrench themselves on a hill. But this is precisely what Gilbard had wanted! He surrounded the hill with 6,000 soldiers to deny the Forestborn any hope of retrieving water, and then proceeded to rain down barrage after barrage of arrows upon the encampment. In this seemingly hopeless position, the morale of the Gridanians quickly dwindled. Following 2 failed attempts to break free, Osborne himself led the van in a third and final charge. In the end, Gridania was defeated. Osborne and several of his officers were captured, and the legendary staff of Clostrum, lent to him by one of the Seedseers, was taken. This abject defeat accounted for what little morale remained among the surviving troops, and they beat a desperate retreat to 5 hangs with the relentless Alamegans harrying them every step of the way. Gilbard's victory brought him ever greater accolades from his country, and as a result both he and the Fist of Ralgar came to wield considerable political power. And that is a brief history of the Fine Sand Banks. No, you needn't thank me. Knowing there is a little less ignorance in the world is all the reward I require. So, has the staff ever come up elsewhere? And have we ever seen Five Hangs?
I don't know about Five Fangs. Not sure on the staff. I do know that Lancer goes into that particular battle.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't go the way he thinks it went.
Yes. I remember that. I forget exactly where that came up, but I do remember the details on that battle coming up. And the death of the Gridanian commander.
Mm-hmm.
That part was right, he did die.
Yes, he did, unfortunately. And now to make my way to Little Alamigo. I'm sorry, Miss Distraught Lass. I'll have to deal with you in a bit.
She's so distraught.
She is. Ride, my fat cat, ride!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, other things about the PS5 reveal. There was one indie game that actually looked kind of interesting. I forget what it was, its title is, but it's effectively a fantasy loosely based off of one of the far Pacific Island cultures. And a lot of the gaming mechanism is effectively you possessing other animals to get certain attributes and effects so you can do other things in the world.
Right.
Hello, Wiltergilt. You're lying.
Yep. You have come far. It is good to see you, sister. You come for my aetherometer. It is not ready to give. My work is not finished. I came as soon as I was told, but the readings require more time. Do not worry, they will be ready soon. You make for Snake Molt in the South Shroud. Eric believes the Aether strong there, yet that land hosted no great battles. He told me as much this morn. Leave me to my task here. Make for Snake Molt. Take your readings. My work will soon be done. I will bring the device to you. I have troubled you to come here. I will not trouble you to wait. Go. We will meet again in Snake Molt, sister.
I believe I want to go this way. But yeah, Snakebolt, as far as I know, had no real battles. However, it was disputed territory between Andapur and Mahaki.
Oh, no wonder the Aether's roiled.
Uh-huh.
Dealing with Mahak would be enough to roil anyone's Aether.
Yeah. Mahak, the city of black mages, and Amdapur, the city of white mages. You can guess how that one went.
Yep. Not to mention the Mahaki they really needed a new hobby.
Oh, they totally needed a new hobby. Looking more at Andapur now that we've actually played through Stormblood or Shadowbringers, I'm like, they might have needed a new hobby too.
Yes.
But yeah, one of the things I was always kind of impressed with. Well, no, I don't dare say that. That'd be still kind of a spoiler for the buns. So,
Yeah.
dang it!
There's so much that comes up later, even when you don't expect it. Maybe even especially when you don't expect it. They have done a good job planning things out.
Well, when they said that all the way up through the next coming expansion, Endwalkers, which is 62 days away now, actually less than
Oh, good
now.
God.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am not ready.
Yeah.
I am not prepared.
Is all one big plot. They're not kidding.
Yep.
But yeah, I believe early access, which we do qualify for, starts in less than 60 days now. I would not be horribly surprised. We get a live letter coming on Friday, which I do hope to have a stream party for, so please come join me.
Yes, that Friday, when?
Friday starting at 7 o'clock. And
Okay,
it's going to
so
run
7
for
Pacific.
4 hours.
Oh, a short one.
No, it's extra long.
I don't know, they always seem to go all night, start around midnight and go until about 6.
No, they start at 4 in the morning, typically.
Nah.
They've shifted the time because they've realized how many people in North America try and actually tune in to the live letters, even though they're in Japanese.
Yep.
So much so that this particular round, especially since they're having such a huge burst of population in North America, they will be providing official English translations.
Yep, they've been doing that for a little bit now.
Yeah, just this, past couple live letters. They didn't used to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's a new thing, but they've been doing it for a bit. Partially because of, COVID, and everyone just kind of, we're paying more attention.
Well, there's something to pay attention to. This coming live letter is effectively going to be 4 hours of highlighting and showing all the job changes.
Yep.
So I don't think there's going to be any big spoilers there, story-wise.
Yay.
So, but a lot of look forward to it.
Do your best.
For all the people seeing Sage and Reaper, come and be excited. For all the other people who are looking forward to their how their classes are getting changed, be prepared. Some was going to be good, some is going to be bad, because that's just how it goes.
Yeah. One aetherometer.
Ew!
Yeah.
I have to
better
fight
you than me.
Ew! I don't want to
Make
fight
sure you
these.
wash up thoroughly once you're done.
I think I need bleach.
Yeah. I won't argue.
Ah, there's more of them. Make it stop.
Of all the things where the creature models aren't just this weird thing where you go, where did you dream this up from? Why did they have to get these basically accurate?
Yeah. They actually explain where their model designs come from. That's scary.
Oh dear.
Oh, you've been watching.
He wasn't going to get bug gunch all over his hands.
Lucky. Here, let me smear some of mine on your chest, Wiltigert.
Well done, sister. I feel your chakra. It has grown.
No, you're feeling the bug getch.
I hoped to arrive before you, but I see I am late. This land's power has gone to you. There is nothing left for me here. It is as I told you. We monks travel where Aether flows strong. There we train. The power of the land enters us. Thus our chakra expand. This bonding causes great unrest. The land's energy becomes unstable. It will enter no other until it calms. I feel nothing here, as you would feel nothing at Fine Sand Banks. That land bonded to my chakra, and its aether is now at unrest. The teacher's work means nothing. I took no readings. I meant to hasten here, but I was delayed. There was a gathering of the monkhood. I was summoned to Little Alamigo. The teacher's chidings? Worry not. I will use my device here. Any result will suffice. The man has already reached his conclusion. He will twist the data to fit. It is a sad existence, to sacrifice all for truth, yet be unable to truly know when one sees it. Speak not of this to him, sister. You see both our aims. You know mine to be more worthy. I tell this to you and you alone. I am of the Alamigan resistance. I fight for freedom from Garlemald. I escaped the occupation. I have come here to fight, to gather allies and weapons. But these lands sadden me. The people have forgotten. Alamigo is a distant memory. The resistance here is small. They aid where they can, but it is not enough. This war demands great power. That power lies in the chakra. The teacher is not an evil man, but he thinks only of his work, not the suffering of innocents. His knowledge can be used for good. The battlefields, they can turn the tide. The chakra of many must be opened. If this way is lost to me, no, I will have this power. I must. An end to the oppression, an end to starvation. Alamigo will be made free. I will see it done. Forgive my speech. It is a matter close to my heart. I will give you my device, but I ask you say nothing of this to Eric. I beg you, sister.
Oh boy. The path of revenge is never a pretty one.
Well, he's not necessarily going strictly after revenge, or even primarily after revenge.
Just mostly after revenge. Ooh, I don't know if we have enough time to finish up all the quests.
And it's all because of Eric.
Yeah, he is a blabbermouth.
I figure we'll finish up next week and then do the holiday.
Okay.
How many weeks is the holiday going to go, just in case that goes too long?
I don't know. Let's check. This is not giving me the information I want. Where are you on this information? Ah, there it is. Regalia. Try not drive into a log.
That would be good.
September 13th to Monday, October 18th.
Oh, we've got a ways.
So we have time.
Oh, yes.
I will also note that with the crossover event of 14 and 15, it goes both ways. There will be an event in-game in 15 that crosses over with 14.
Mm-hmm.
Which is actually kind of hilarious. Ride, my fat cat, ride! Yay! So yeah, all in all, the PS reveal was kind of ho-hum. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of the Tokyo Game Show next.
Right.
Next week, I think it is.
That'd be about right. Maybe a little later.
October 1st through 3rd. So
Definitely a little later. That's a little under 3 weeks away.
yeah, the other thing that's coming up that has been slowly bubbling to the surface is FF11, which was their first MMO and is still playable and online, is going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary.
Poof, another 100 gray furs.
At some point, I would like to try 11 because apparently over the years they have made it a lot more solo and small party friendly for the main story content. There's still some really ugly things in the world. And it's still a bit on the grindtastic side, but again, it kind of set the mold for grindtastic MMOs. But the fact that it's celebrating its 20th, I'm sad that it is only on PC right now. When it came out originally, it was PlayStation 1?
2.
Yeah, PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Yeah, remember we inherited Jareth's PS2 with the networking attachment that he had so he could play FF11.
No, I thought he had that to play EverQuest. Because they did release EverQuest for the PS2.
Okay, it might have been why he had it. I know he at least looked at 11 really hard. Because I remember it being talked about at the time over there.
Yeah, the only reason why I've not tried FF11 at this point is that I try and look it up, and I get this huge screen with the Play Online logo, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out in 2001.
Yeah.
So, and they're actually recently started dropping more story content for it. So, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy XI came out at the time of the original EverQuest and just after Ultima Online.
And back in the days when Anime Nation was importing legitimate Japanese CDs for good prices, and I had money to spend on them. So we've never played the game, but we have the soundtrack.
I don't think Anime Nation's still around. I think they're gone.
As a store, they're basically gone. There is still an Anime Nation forum.
Yeah, because the email hosting service went away.
Yep, that's gone. The store is basically gone. If not completely, then all the parts we're interested in, I'd have to double check. But there is still the attached forum. That still exists.
Wow.
Yeah.
And at the time, it was considered the best-selling FF game ever. I think
Well,
14
being
has
on 3
officially
different
taken its
platforms did a lot.
place. So, yeah. Okay, Eric.
I trust you have returned with both of my aetherometers. Please tell me you fumbling dolts haven't managed to damage either of them this time.
Nope, they're right here.
Poof. All looks to be in order here. These readings from your device, they look promising. Very promising indeed. I dare say this data may yield revolutionary results. Your chakra opened a bit more, did it? Yes, well, Aether is a most mysterious and wonderful thing. I'm glad this meaningful research could serve your nonsensical ends as well. Now, leave me to my work. Surely you can find some simple way to pass the time? Fighting, say, or, I don't know, scratching? He's all heart.
You see what that is? That's the most important monk ability ever.
Okay.
Fists of
Okay,
Fire.
Fist of Fire.
Yeah, Eric, I'll, see you later. Probably next week. Time to go.
Going to spend an entire week scratching, are you?
Hush you, Eric. Actually, I'm going to spend all week gambling. Because I want a car, dang it. Boop boop.
And harmonica music.
Sid's never going to take that 8-track out, is he?
No. Stuck on one track forever.
Oh, one thing they did announce for the Tokyo Game Show is they're doing a special presentation for Triangle Strategy.
Oh, hopefully that's coming along well.
Indeed. I still need to get around playing the demo of that.
Same here.
Can't get a good angle. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. Well, thank you all very much for coming along. Sorry we could not get this all done in one night, but we knew it was going to be a long haul. Ain't that
Well,
right?
that was the 40, so you did the 30, the 35, and the 40, so that's 3 out of the 5.
Yeah, and of course Eric is just very long-winded.
Yes, yes he is. He is special.
So this coming Friday, I will be doing a special presentation. Come enjoy the party as we oogle the new classes and either squeal with joy or crawl into a ball crying.
Or both.
Or both. And then we will pick up again with Heaven on High on Saturday. And then back to the Buns on Sunday for finishing up the Monk Quests and then doing the FF14 to FF15 crossover. Oh, thank you for the heads up, Cold. I will go ahead and raid care. Thank you all very much for coming along. I hope you have a great evening.
Yeah, everyone have a good night and a great week.
As we're preparing to raid. Beware, children, for week cometh. And off we go.
Buns of the apocalypse.